Welcome to BGC, apparently the part of Manila that entirely forgot that it's in Southeast Asia. Wide sidewalks, no tangled wires, and people actually stopping at pedestrian crossings. It's clean, it's modern, and honestly, a little bit confusing. Is this a city, a mall, or a really expensive film set? We came to Manila expecting chaos and character, and instead, we found brunch spots and rooftop bars. This is our first time in Bonifacio Global City, and it might just be the most surprising side of modern Manila. Ever since arriving in Manila just a few short days ago, we've met many local Filipinos, and every single one of them has told us if you want to see a more modern and cleaner side of Manila, you need to come and check out BGC or Bonifacio Global City. So today is our very first time exploring BGC here in Manila. We're starting our day off with an ice Americano from a very, very fancy cube-shaped coffee shop with loads of up-to-date technology. We actually ordered our coffee from an iPad screen, and they had tons of different pastries and everything else, and state-of-the-art coffee machines. It's a nice way to kickstart a day here in the other side of Manila. So let's explore BGC together today.
So right now we are on Bonifacio High Street, which is a pedestrianized area and kind of like an outdoor shopping area with lots and lots of international outlets such as TGI Fridays, Starbucks and so on. And this is not your average video that we're filming. Usually we are much more focused on very much the local sides of the areas that we're in, but we figured we want to show you both sides of Manila.
Yeah, so BGC is really the area where you're going to run into, I would say, the highest density of international tourists, international expats, people from all over the world. So we've only been here now for quite literally around 10 minutes, and we've encountered people from many different places. I'm hearing like American accents, British accents, local Filipinos, and everything in between as well. So it's sort of like a real sort of crossover and a hot pot, I guess, a boiling hot pot of everything meeting together here in Manila. And I can see why it draws in so many people, because it's just very beautiful and it's very walkable. It's not so focused on cars and things like that. It's not focused on that stuff. It's all very much focused on incorporating greenery, nature, trees. There's playgrounds everywhere. So if you are someone who's coming to Manila with a family, for example, this is the perfect spot to come with your family, because there's so many different places for your kids to go and play while you're drinking your iced coffee, for example. Me and Naomi don't have that problem, but today we're going to explore it from our own perspective and from what we like, and that's usually has to do with the food. So, and of course, just a general look and walk around as well. But so far, I'm blown away.
Bonifacio somewhat seems to be the opposite of what we know about Manila and what we also, of course, love about Manila so much. As you can see, it's very, very sort of quiet. There's nothing on the sidewalk. There's like the hustle and bustle is sort of missing, and people are also very sort of quiet. You know, usually when you think of Manila, when you think of Filipinos, you think of, temperament and passion, and people are out there, and like lots of conversations, laughter, music and so on is happening, which seems to be somewhat missing here. You can make with that point what you please, but yeah, it's very sort of put together, and it's like as if we left Manila and went to a different Manila, like a counter opposite universe of sorts.
Now it's a bloody hot day, and luckily enough we found ourselves a gelatissimo. Mamma mia, gelatissimo. Oh, let's try some of the ice cream.
Let's try some of the ice cream.
Oh wow. Hello.
Ooh,
Oh my god, look at all the flavors. Ooh. So they have pomegranate yogurt, matcha, hazelnut swirl, salted macadamia, candy wonderland. Oh my god. So many flavors.
You can try flavors.
Yeah? Oh my god. I don't know which one to choose. Can I try the hazelnut swirl cheesecake? Hello. Thank you so much. You want to try?
Oh, sorry, I was plugged out.
She was switched off. It's good. It's
Tastes
good.
like Nutella flavor.
Oh, that
Tastes
sounds
like
like
Nutella. It's good.
yeah. Two mad explorers. Yeah. Thank you. Oh wow.
I think I want to try the salted macadamia and dulce de leche.
Yeah?
As a shake. But you can also... Let me try it, of course. I would never say no, you can try.
What's this?
I tried
Dulce de
yours.
leche?
Dulce de
Dulce
leche.
de leche.
With macadamia.
Oh my god. That's so good. That's really good. It's not too sweet as well. Well, it is sweet, but it's not too sweet.
I think I'm gonna make it a shake. Do you want a shake or ice cream?
I'm gonna get ice cream. You get a shake. Yeah?
Can I get the salted macadamia and dulce de leche as a shake?
What size?
Could I get a regular gelato as well? 1 scoop of the Rocher flavor. This one here. And very berry cheesecake. Thank you so much. So I think all in all they have like more than 20 different flavors of gelato. Ice cream is my favorite thing in the world, so this is my happy place. Thank you so much. Salamat po. Thank you. Wow. Look at that.
So Luke is very much
Mamma mia,
ice cream lover. Like, I think ice cream is literally the only sweet thing on this world that I don't like. I'm not an ice cream fan unless it's like really artisanal, like fruit sorbet or something like that, like fancy schments. But I got a milkshake. Oh, that's really good. That's the macadamia and dulce de leche flavor. Luke is dripping behind the camera.
Very berry cheesecake and a Ferrero Rocher ice cream. So it doesn't get much fatter than this, guys. I'm gonna be rolling home from BGC today. Oh my god. Try that.
Which one is this?
This is a mix of both.
Oh.
Very berry cheesecake and Ferrero Rocher. It's so sweet.
It's too sweet for me, I'm sorry.
This is freaking delicious. It's about 35, 36 degrees Celsius right now. So this is gonna fuel me up to go and properly explore BGC today.
If you're not so much into the sweet flavors, this is alright, by the way. The macadamia one is good.
Oh my god. Naomi gave me her shake because I just like it too much. I completely finished my ice cream as well. And I'm gonna finish Naomi's shake too. Fatty Boombati over here.
Water for the win.
Oh, it's so thick. A lot of times the way that Manila gets portrayed online and by a lot of media outlets is usually big, dirty, chaotic and dangerous. And I don't know about you, but for us, coming from Europe and from Ireland, Naomi's from Germany. Europe at the moment, and a lot of the Western world, including America in particular actually, puts Manila to shame when it comes to being dirty, chaotic, and dangerous. And I'm not just saying that. A lot of the way that the Western world is going at the moment is absolutely crazy. So it's very refreshing to be in this side of Manila. But don't get me wrong, there's different areas in Manila that will portray anything that it wants to towards you. There's a lot of areas in the city that are very chaotic. There's definitely some areas that are not the cleanest. And I don't know about danger because we've never actually felt any danger while being here. I can tell you for sure that if you go to the center of European cities like Paris, Barcelona, places like that right now, you're gonna feel a lot more danger and a lot more stress for your belongings and things like that than you would in Manila. But it's just interesting to see because a lot of these European cities will always get a heavy amount of tourism, and people will never just skip over somewhere like Paris. In fact, it gets probably the highest density of tourists in the world, but people are very quick to skip over cities like Manila here in the Philippines, where literally 99% of the people incredibly friendly, very easygoing, and there's very little to be worried about when it comes to your personal safety or your belongings. Just have a look at that. Very beautiful. Streets in this particular area as well are spotless, and you see people everywhere that are cleaning them. There is security in every area of this place as well, and I'm not sure if it's even really needed because the majority of the security guards seem to be just playing games on their phone and chilling. So yeah, the way of life here is very laid back here in this part of Manila. Well, America has truly infiltrated the Philippines. There's an Olive Garden in Manila. That's crazy. Probably the least actual Italian, authentic Italian food. Very Americanized. So if you are watching this and you're like, oh, I tried Olive Garden, I really like Italian food. It's not Italian food. It is good though. The breadsticks are pretty good.
Now a few things I have to give BGC, which is cars actually do stop here for you if you want to cross the street, for example, which is not so much the case in a lot of the other parts in Manila. There is zero to no stray animals here. I don't know how they keep the stray animals out of this specific part of the city, because in the rest of the city you do see lots of cats and dogs everywhere. And they do have very nice public facilities for the youth, which you can see here, for example, on the side of this really cool looking astronaut mural. Here's some boys here and young men playing basketball on a really nicely put together basketball court. The Philippines love their basketball. Show me some skills. Shy boy.
Yeah, this is probably the cleanest basketball court that we've seen so far.
Hello. And is it in? It's in. Not to give a shout out to the company, I do want to talk about it though. This place is called The Courtyard, and it is put together by Nike. So I assume that Nike actually sponsors this area, or at least the build of this area. I don't know if they sponsor the upkeep, but at least the first build of this entire courtyard was done by Nike.
You will not see basketball courts that are of that caliber or as clean as that are free to use in my home country in Ireland. I'm not sure, I can't speak about the rest of Europe, but in terms of public facilities, that is leaps and bounds better than what's available for young people back home in my home country. Hello. Okay, so now we're going to go towards a mall that is apparently modelled after Venice. An interesting concept, I have to say. But BGC is quite a large place, so we're going to take ourselves a grab to go there. It's like I said, it's 36 degrees Celsius outside today. While we're sitting in the taxi, we can just chill and check out the skyline of BGC. And I have to say, it's so developed and modern as well, that once night falls, so once it gets dark, say this transforms into a pretty spectacular looking place. I would put this, to be honest, in the list of competition in terms of an actual area of a city. I would put this in competition with places like Hong Kong, places like Bangkok, Chinese cities even, large Chinese cities. It is up there for sure in terms of convenience, cleanliness and everything else. It's really up there with those types of cities. So yeah, something to think about. Let's go and check out this mall that is supposedly like Venice. I've never been to Venice, so I have nothing to compare it to. So we'll see. It's worth mentioning as well that here in BGC there's a lot of international hospitals and medical centers. So if you are an English speaker or an international tourist and you need medical attention or anything like that while you're in Manila, BGC is probably the area where you're going to end up coming to. There's a lot of those types of centers and all of the staff in there will have great English and it will be a very straightforward process. So you have nothing to worry about in terms of language barriers, etc, etc. Okay, bye-bye. Wow. We made it to the Venice Grand Canal Mall. Let's have a look.
Welcome to Venice, I suppose. I'm actually half Italian. My mom's from Sicily, but I've never been to Venice because obviously every time I go to Italy I just go to visit a family. So this is my little taste of Venice, I want to say. And this year is probably the most covered mall on YouTube that you will see. Every single travel vlogger will always come to Venice Mall here in Manila, and just having a look around, I can already see there's like lots and lots of American restaurants. I saw a Danny's, I see a Shakey's, things like that. Well, let's just have a look around.
There's an airplane flying overhead as well. Look at that. Ah, that's a cool sight right there. In terms of like mall layouts and structures and things like that, we never really typically, to be honest, visit or spend like a lot of time in shopping malls whenever we're traveling. We only do that if we really need something like a supermarket to get some water or something like that. But in terms of actual shopping malls that we have been to, this is probably one of the most unique that we've seen. I've been to the States, I've visited the States now 4 or 5 times on different occasions. I've been to many different US shopping malls and stuff like that, and this here blows a lot of those shopping centers out of the water, quite literally. But a lot of the shopping centers that you will see in the US will just be run-of-the-mill standard box, very sort of just grey and dull, and the whole focus on it is just really to get you to spend money. Whereas here, feels like a lot of the energy and a lot of the focus went into just designing a beautiful space, and you can feel that here.
I do have to say though, it seems like the majority of the mall is focused on food outlets, so it doesn't seem to be so much of a shopping mall for clothes. At least so far we have only seen food outlets.
One thing I'll say as well is from what I've heard from people that actually have visited Venice, it's apparently a very smelly place. That's not the case here. It's very, very well maintained. Hello. It's very well maintained here, and it doesn't stink of garbage, which is unfortunately a very common theme at the moment in a lot of European cities, like I said earlier. This, on the other hand, is quite literally pristine, clean. They actually care about their city here.
Now this spot here they call Ponte Amore. So the Point of Love, it's probably the best picture taking spot in this entire mall. As you can see, the water looks really, really nice here, just sort of blue, kind of light blue, turquoise type of vibes going on, and it's just such a pretty mall. just like, even if you're not really looking to buy anything, just to come here and like spend an afternoon is really nice, by the way. And we did find the clothing part of the mall. So basically the way it's structured is just out there there's sort of a smaller rondel with the water and kind of where it looks like Venice and boats and all of the food outlets. And then there is an outer circle, which we are in right now, where you can buy shoes and clothes, sunglasses, just anything a normal mall would really have to offer, I suppose. They also have this place called Venice Piazza, kind of outside of the mall, which is where we are right now. And they sort of decorated it the way Venice is decorated as well. And just up here, they even have the Venetian lion with the wings, which is your typical symbol of Venice, which you can find, of course, all over Venice and sort of different areas in Europe where the Venetians have colonized, such as like Croatia and so on. It's kind of like a symbol of Venice that you can find in different areas, and it's so cool to see it here as well.
Everywhere I go here, I just feel like doing this.
I find it really funny how they have like random signs of Italian everywhere, but like with no real context. So here it, for example, just says oh, you done moving the chairs? She's not. Over here it probably says Domenica Mattina, which just means like Sunday morning. Over there it says Mi chiamo, which means my name is, but then there's no name. Il mio San Valentino, my holy Valentine. Buongiorno, buongiorno is obviously good morning, and so on. So they have like, there's a lot of chairs to be moved in this mall. They have lots and lots of just like random signs, which I think are funny. And they also have these little balconies overlooking the canal here, which is so pretty. And there's also lots of people that are dressed up in the traditional sort of Venetian outfits with the masks and the high stilts and so on, which is really cool to see. Sometimes I feel like they're a little bit scary. My grandmother has those Venetian masks on her wall for decoration, and ever since I was a child I was always scared of them. So for me, looking at the Venetian masks, I'm always like, childhood trauma. They even put all of the locks on the bridges here everywhere to lock in your love. Fun fact, a lot of European bridges, they actually take them off, because the more you put, at some stage they start causing structural difficulties to the bridge, because obviously it's an extra weight that was not calculated. So in Europe, if you put one of the locks on the bridges where lots of locks are, they will be removed after a while. Found ourselves a nice little spot directly at the water, which is called, Tony and Sergio Gastro Italiano. I think we're gonna order a nice little lunch here. It's sort of a beautiful spot. They also have seating inside with AC, but we kind of feel like out here it's nicer to sit directly on the water. Creamy, fresh basil pesto served in a pan.
Kind of matches your dress.
It kind of matches the food, you mean?
Yeah.
Do you think I should like, whoop? I don't think so. Let's give it a try.
How cool are the plates, by the way?
The plates are really nice.
Fancy plates.
Ooh, I think there's chicken in the pesto as well. Mm-hmm. They actually put chicken into the pesto. That's a nice flavor. Very good.
Good pasta.
It's actually a lot nicer than I thought it was gonna be.
Oh.
I was thinking this was no way gonna be a nice pasta, but it's actually really nice. You wanna give it a try?
Yeah. That is very good pasta. Philippines is not really a place that you would typically associate Italian food with, or finding good Italian food. And that is actually a very respectable pesto pasta, I have to say.
I do have to say though, it's like the American take on what a basil pesto would be, because they added like cream and stuff like that. But it's good. It's tasty.
By the way, it feels, where we're sitting here, I was just saying this to Naomi, very, very common place to visit in Europe is obviously Italy, Spain, and the south of Europe. And it actually feels like, while we're sitting here, underneath the protection from the sun, and you have the water and the building at the back, it kind of feels like we're just on holiday somewhere in the south of Europe right here, which is crazy, because we haven't been back home in Europe now in like more than 3 years. So it's a very unique feeling to have. And I have ordered myself a pizza that I'm currently waiting for, and my mouth is salivating like crazy because I ordered 3 different types of meats on a pizza, and I'm very curious to see what type of a pizza it's going to be, and if it is actually a good pizza as well. So many questions that need answering. Oh, mamma mia, it's a me, Mario. We have a pizza here, and it looks to be pretty crazy looking. So they have like the burnt crust, which to me, believe it or not, I like, especially if it's like a thin pizza and it's a little bit burnt, not too burnt, just a little bit, so you have like a nice crunch. I don't like deep dish pizza. I don't know who in their right mind wants to eat a pizza that is the same texture and depth as cake. Like if you take a bite out of a deep dish pizza, you're getting a little bit of the crust at the bottom, and then the rest of it is just basically runny cheese. For me, a thin pizza, that's like the way to go. And this looks exactly like my type of pizza right here. You can feel already that the crust is nice and flaky as well. Look at this bad boy. So, pizza, it's very, very floppy, I have to say. I thought by looking at it that it was going to be like really solid and like have some integrity to the base, but it is pretty floppy. I don't know if that's a good or a bad sign, but there's plenty of meat and cheese on there, so let's give it a go. Oh, very oily, heavily focused on the oil aspect. Decent cheese pull, and the cheese has like a little bit of a hyper processed taste, I'm not gonna lie, but in terms of a pizza, it's not horrifically bad. If it had to score it on like a scale of 1 to 5 or something like that, I would go somewhere in the middle. It's better than like a fast food pizza. So like if you were to order like a Domino's or something like that, this definitely blows that type of pizza out of the water. The ingredients here are definitely fresher, and the crust itself is definitely of a higher quality too. But it's a little bit too oily. That's all I'm gonna say. But I'm definitely gonna enjoy myself a good few slices of this. So I'm absolutely starving after exploring around BGC today. And it is piping hot too. The whole time we've been sitting here enjoying our meal, it's just been boats, gondolas, full of Filipinos and tourists and different people just floating by. And it's nice. It's a unique way to enjoy a pizza in the Philippines. It's different. Right guys, so welcome to our little barangay here. This is Barangay Plainview in Mandaluyong, and this is where we are staying. Now there's a little bit of construction work going on, but I'll tell you what, Mandaluyong, it's a lot different than BGC. So in terms of first impressions with BGC, I have to say I'm very positively surprised. And I can understand why so many people have recommended us to go there and said that if you want to go and see a more modern side of Manila, it's definitely the place to be. And to be honest, our time is running out here in Mandaluyong. Hello! Our time is running out here with our stay in Mandaluyong, and I'm actually very tempted to book an extended stay in Manila just so we can stay in BGC.
Yes, I did enjoy my time in BGC as well. I do have to say it's a little bit like smooth around the edges. It's a little bit sterile. I usually appreciate places like Mandaluyong a little bit more, like rough around the edges, lots of locals, and kind of the hustle and bustle. I do enjoy when things are kind of, you know, loud and a little bit more rougher. Yeah, I believe because Luke and I are both from like working class families, we're more like, okay, this is where we feel at home. I do like BGC. It's a little bit fancy, a little bit sterile, as I said, but nothing wrong with it. And I do think it's a nice place to spend some time as well.
Yeah, 100%. We have a lot more videos coming your way from Manila. We're going to be exploring the other areas as well, like Tondo and all of these other places. There's loads of different sides and contrasts and things to see and do here in this city. So make sure to stay tuned for that. But for now, we're going to sign off. My name is Luke.
My name is Naomi.
We are the Two Mad Explorers.
And this is your reminder to keep exploring.
We'll see you guys in the next Filipino adventure.
Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.